Hi there, boys and girls. My name is Valeda. I'm here to tell you a story. A wonderful story about what happens inside people, where usually you can't see it all. Now, I'm only an imaginary lady, of course. A kind of statue, really. But I'm formed just like your own mommy, with arms and legs and a head and bones and everything, except that your mommy has real skin, while mine is glass. You can look right through it. And now, if you'll listen hard and do every single thing I ask you to do, we'll have some fun. Ready? This is my brain. Now, if you'll place your hands on both sides of your head and press a little, you'll feel some very hard bone. Your brain is inside that bone because that's the safest place in your whole body. Our brain is the place where we think. If we couldn't think about anything, it wouldn't be much fun, would it? But how does our brain get things to think about? You'd never guess. But before I tell you, I want you to do several things for me. First, I want you to blink your eyes. Now, pinch your ears. Not so hard. Stick out your tongue. Sniff. Wiggle your fingers and rub the skin on your arm. It's your eyes, ears, tongue, nose, fingers, and skin. They're the ones that do it. Our eyes send pictures to our brain. Our ears send the sounds. Our tongue sends tastes. Our nose sends smells. Our fingers and skin send the feel of things, whether they're hot or cold, rough or smooth, round or square, and so forth. And this is the wonderful way our brain gets things to think about. Our brain can tell us to do things. It tells us to chew our food. It tells us to run and jump and play games. It tells us to clap our hands, for instance. All right, everybody clap. There! Your brain made you clap your hands. Our brain tells us to do every single thing we do. And remember how sleepy we feel at night? That's because our brain is all tired out from thinking of so many things. It needs to rest. So we go to sleep. But some parts of us, like our heart and our lungs, go right on working all night long. The part of our brain which tells them what to do never sleeps. This is my voice box. It's where I talk. The big name for it is larynx. Would you like to say a big long ah? Then say it. Ah. There. You said ah with your voice box. Here you see my lungs. And let me tell you, lungs are as light as balloons because they always have air in them. Now, I want you to breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Can't you just feel the air going in and out of your lungs? And now, please close your mouth as tightly as you can and hold your nose shut with your thumb and your finger. And stay that way as long as you can. Hold it. Hold it. There. If you were playing fair, you couldn't hold it much longer, could you? You had to let go and take a big breath of fresh air. And do you know why? Because you have to have a very important part of the air all the time to keep alive. This part is called oxygen. Oxygen is in the air. You can't see it, but it keeps you alive. This is my heart. Put your hand on your chest. Can you feel your heart beating? You can? Only it's not really beating at all, you know. It's pumping. For the heart is a pump. It pumps your blood through little tubes called blood vessels. Our blood carries food and oxygen to all parts of the body, so that we will do two things: stay alive, and grow. Blood picks up oxygen in our lungs, and later I'll tell you where blood picks up food. This is my liver. The most important thing the liver does is to take care of the sugar we eat. Candy contains lots of sugar, but you know candy can cause cavities in your teeth, don't you? But there are lots of foods that are good for you that contain natural sugars, like milk, for instance, and fruits. Remember how sweet they taste when they're ripe? Our body needs sugar because sugar is what burns inside us and keeps us warm and gives us pep. You like to play outdoors and jump rope and ride a bike, don't you? You do? Well, you know it takes pep to do things like that. Here's my stomach, and I guess you know where your tummy is, all right. Are you touching it? Oh, it feels so good when it's full. Unless, of course, it's too full. And then, oh my. Now you all know what happens when you drop a lump of sugar into water, don't you? That's right. It dissolves. And that's what we mean by digestion. All food has to be dissolved before it can get into the blood. Food starts to dissolve or digest while we're chewing it and mixing it with a special juice called saliva that is in our mouth. After we swallow food, it goes right on digesting when it churns around and mixes with other juices that are in our stomach. Digestion is finished in our small intestine. This is a tube all curled up inside us, just the way you see mine here. And do you know, if a small intestine could be stretched out, it would reach almost across this room? Imagine! Soon the food is dissolved enough for part of it, the best part, to pass right into our blood so it can make us grow. The rest of our food goes into our large intestine, a big tube that can twist about so as to squeeze water out of the food we cannot use. This is the second part of the large intestine. Here more water is taken out of the waste food, which moves into this part, and then passes on into the rectum, a place for storing waste foods until they leave the body. My kidneys get rid of extra water. Put your hands right in the middle of your back. That's where your kidneys are. They're awfully important because they help to keep us clean inside. The kidneys take poisons out of your blood, poisons that would certainly make us sick, and they mix these poisons with water and send the water away to this sac called the bladder, where it stays until it passes out of the body. Now you see me all lighted at once. You've heard an exciting story of what happens inside people. And you know better, don't you, how hard your body works all the time to keep you alive and make you grow and stay healthy. And that's why your mommy and daddy want you to eat the right kinds of foods and drink lots of milk and breathe fresh air and exercise every day and go to bed on time so you'll get all the rest and the sleep you need. Now I'd like to have you wave at me. Do you know why you can wave? Because you have muscles. You can feel the muscles in your arm, can't you? Poor me. I have no muscles, so I can't wave back at you. My muscles were all left out, so that you could see inside me. But your muscles are there all right. They're fastened to your bones, and they pull your bones to make you move. Lift your arm high. Your shoulder muscles are pulling up your arm bones. You can't see your bones, of course, but you can see mine. Around 200 of them. Your bones are what hold you up. So that's the story of a wonderful machine, your body, which is 1,000,000 times more wonderful than any other machine you've ever heard of. And someday I know each one of you hopes to grow into a fine man or woman, don't you? Well then, that means that you must always keep safe and strong and well. For remember, this is the only body you will ever have. So perhaps you'd like to be very, very quiet for a moment while you promise to take good care of yourself. Are you promising? Good. I'm proud of you. Please try not to forget what I've told you, but if you ever start forgetting, come back and see me again. Anytime. I'll always be here to help you take better care of your body. This wonderful house we live in, only once.